Mic check one. Mic check one. Mic check one. Hot mic. Islam. Rise in the name of the Lord, the great God of the universe, giving honor to all his true and divine prophets, giving honor to Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, Jonah, etc., and giving honor to the prophet of these days and times, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Islam family. Islam, Islam, Islamism. Welcome to Temple Talk. Before I start, as always, I'll give my disclaimer. The views and opinions of the listener audience or the host may not be consistent with the views and opinions of the listeners or the audience. But the views and opinions and the consistent commentary of the host, Romeo Jonah L., Grand Sheik Divine Minister of the Moorish Science of America, is consistent with the teachings of the Moorish Science Temple of America, with the 5 principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Islam Wars, welcome to Temple Talk. It's been a while due to a lot of the highways and byways, the construction, the confusion, and a lot of the challenges. But due to knowing my lessons, I know that a soldier never knows his strength until he meets his foe. And also know that death is no enemy to man. Now, I want to speak to the Moors tonight about various topics. One, about unity, about the social duties, which is in the chapter 30 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I want to just paraphrase lightly on it, but it's important that I say the things that I'm about to mention. First and foremost, whenever we're trying to practice unity, we have to keep one thing in mind. To be unified, we know that united we stand, divided. However, we're not obligated to provide help and assistance to people within the realms of the Moorish Science Temple because our brothers and sisters who don't have the principles that we do, they get a pass on this. But the ones who know better are to do better. For example, you do not have the right and you don't have the permission to impose on people for services that you're not ready to render to them. For example, we have a lot of Moors who have balls and debates. They have costume parties and all kinds of banquets, and they expect support from everybody to participate. But when they're called upon, some of them, I must clarify that, some of the Moors, and those without using names, you know who you are. If it don't apply, let it fly. Some of us expect assistance when we don't provide assistance to others. For example, this podcast show has been in existence since November the 3rd of last year. And I have get more support from brothers and sisters who are out in the Moorish community who are learning about their nationality and birthright than I do the ones that know. That's unexcusable. But yet and still, Moors will repeatedly blow my phone up. They will call me and ask me for help and expect me to show up when things are about to blow up. Free lunch is over. We have what's called the hand press of unity, but it's 2 hands in that hand press. Before one can receive a benefit, one must confer one. In order for you to want help, you ought to provide help, especially if you're conscious and you have a title like Grand Sheik or grand sheikesses, you know better. Sheiks and sheiks, you all know better. So we need to be conscious of who we impose on for things that we don't provide, services that we don't provide for other people. I've had Moors get on the podcast and constantly say I sound like a public service announcement. But one of the things I make known that I'm a public servant. I don't know about you, but I'm speaking about me. I am a servant of the people because according to my lessons, the glory of the king is the welfare of his people. Is the welfare of his people. You can't expect to be a leader if you can't provide services to people that need you. As a leader, I provide comfort, economic support, stability, moral support, emotional support, financial support to anybody who needs it. And if anybody knows the spirit and the character of Grand Sheik Romeo Joyner L. Divine Minister, I often do things not for self-aggrandizement or to get public recognition. I do it because it's a necessity. I believe in aiding people because in aiding others, I will help myself on the credit side of life. I want to make that clear. When we aid other people, we benefit from it because it would help you. Now, when I go back to the content of Moors requesting support when they don't provide support, as I stated before, this podcast has been in existence since November 3rd of 2025. And I don't receive any support from other Moors. I don't have them come on to the show when they've extended an invitation. They don't show up for any of the meetings, but yet some of them will criticize and they will condemn and they will judge. Shame on you. Because as a minister and a grand sheik, a temple number 7 of the Moorish Central America, check my record. I have a track record for helping people. And yes, when you help people, and I'm going to use bad speaking, but I'm going to say this, you're going to earn enemies. If you don't walk in the room like a sister and hide in the dark like a punk, people will try to discredit you. They will try to mar your name and they will try to make disparaging remarks without you being there because they know they will be held accountable if they do and you're there. So I want to make one thing real clear. My door is an open door policy. If you need help, I will help you. But if you're going to use your begging, because that's what it is, I'm going to keep it real. Like my father would say, I'm going to put it where the ghost can get it. That's not going to be emotional blackmail as leverage to make me to help you. So it's not going to happen. If you need help, I will help you. But you're not going to emotionally blackmail me or pigeonhole me or try to act like I'm doing something. I need to do something for you that you don't deserve. Now, the Moors that know me know that wherever there's a need and necessity for me to show up, I will. But I will not show up to help people who don't want to help others. That's not what this is about. So I want to greet the Moors the same way as I always do, in peace. I believe in practicing the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I believe in the Asiatic Covenant, not just practicing it. And I live by it. I live by it without just reciting it. I believe in assisting the people that are in my family, who are within the community. And I know that when I separated from some of the Moors in the Moorish Central America, I remember the relation to bond to be the love and unity. That's why I always can reflect back on those particular instances where I assist some of you all when you try to despise me and denigrate me. So I'm not going to lament much longer, but the truth must be told because we believe in the 5 principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when the first 4 principles is violated, then justice must take its course. So this is justice. And that's what Jesus' names mean. Jesus' names means justice. So I want to say to the Moors, if you need assistance, Temple 7 is always open. The Moore Sound Temple of America, 6628 Kenwood Avenue, Rosedale, Maryland, zip code 21237, phone number 443-414-9443. I want to say to the Moors, I'll greet you in the name of peace. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor lawgiver between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Create me a clean heart, O Lord, and renew a right spirit within me. Let the words of my mouth be acceptable in thy sight. O Allah, my strength, my redeemer, I hail. Islam. Peace.